just like with games, this was a great year for anime. There was a lot of anime I was interested in watching, but I didn't get to all of them. But I did watch quite a few, and I thought it would be fun to go through the anime I watched this year that I really enjoyed. Two things though, just like the last one, I'll be including anime regardless of what year they aired. What matters is if I watched them this year or not. And also, I won't be using anime clips only because I don't want to fuck around with copyright. Maybe a screenshot here and there at most, if at all. At the bottom of my list is a weird one because I'm gonna be straight, I gave it a 9 out of 10. And there's gonna be some animes above it that are like an 8 out of 10, which, how does that make sense, right? But I just have so many complaints with gachiakuta that, can I put it over the other ones? Not really. It should be expected. I have a lot to say here, and this is gonna be the longest entry here only because that's what I feel like is necessary to really elaborate on how I feel about this one, because I'm not gonna give it its own video. So I'll just say this right now, get ready for a fucking long one. This is gonna take a while, and I mean that shit. First off, and most importantly, I haven't thoroughly enjoyed an action shonen anime since the first 3 seasons of My Hero, but this show has brought me around again. I think a lot of this had to do with 4 main things: Studio Bones, the art style, the characters and their designs, and the setting. Bones has consistently been my favorite studio for action sequences, from their work on Sword of the Stranger, to Soul Eater, to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, to Mob Psycho, to, I'd say, the first 3 seasons of My Hero, where I feel like the second season was at the peak of its animation. Their fight scenes are just so well choreographed, easy to understand, and dynamic, and they didn't fucking miss here. It's packed with not only these heavily choreographed scenes like in Ryo and Zanko's fight, but we also get to the more trendy, modern, flashy power scenes like in episode 21. I think Rudo's part was done by the man himself, Yutaka Nakamura. I think it just has his style written all over it. And not to get sidetracked, but when it comes to this style of animation that he's been doing recently, this has to be one of my favorites from him. And I say that as someone that typically prefers more heavily choreographed stuff, like his work on Sword of the Stranger, Fullmetal Alchemist, that kind of stuff. But he's always done an amazing job of capturing power, impact, and speed, and he has an extremely distinct style. And while episode 21 is the peak of gachiakuta's animation, the entire show is so consistently well animated with a ton of detail. A ton of detail. This isn't a simple art style, this is very detailed. There's a lot of details in the clothing, the hair, and there's so much to keep track of. And it's still so well animated. That is insane to me. So it's clear that Bones clearly gave it the love and time they gave to shows like Mob Psycho, where it's very clear that something like Mob Psycho and Gachiakuta got special treatment. They also did a very good job of bringing over the art style of the manga. I don't know if certain animation sequences were entirely on them or if it's based on the manga, like right after Rudo beat the shit out of Amo and he's like, you know, basically calling out Amo's bullshit. And it's like this really creative, I don't even know what style of like art I would call that, but it was really out there. Regardless, that style is so sick, and Bones might just be the best when it comes to incorporating these styles without breaking the immersion and breaking away from the original art style too much. But speaking of Amo, the dialogue in Gachiakuta is a huge detriment to the show. It's just so fucking shonen in the worst way possible. Any sort of painfully trash dialogue you could think of can be found in this show. Amo literally talks about her power in depth, talking about what it does, how it triggers and all that, and then she stops herself by saying that she said too much. Now at that point, you might as well have her turn her face to the viewers and wink, because that shit broke the fucking immersion for me. I've made it clear before that anime is just as much a visual experience as it is an audio one, so I don't know why visual communication is so underutilized in anime, and especially in shonen anime. Kids aren't stupid, and there are ways to display a character's power without doing this, without being so in your face about it. And even then, maybe wait until the actual fight is over, so like, then it would make sense. And then for people that didn't understand it, they would still get the explanation at the end of the fight. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to make the most sense within the world of Gachiakuta, within the story, for a character to explain their own power to their enemy that they're trying to kill. I get that it's a shonen staple, but I think the question here is, should it be a staple? And the answer is fucking no, it shouldn't be. It should have never been. And now I do have quite a bit to say about Amo, and I'm using Amo as an example here, but you can really take what I'm saying here and cross-reference, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. But basically, I'm not talking about just Amo here, I'm just making an example out of her. She's halfway between a good character and a bad character. She's just so unconvincingly insane that it was hard to watch at times. I'm so tired of these crazy characters doing the repeated phrase thing. ReZero played that shit out for me, so I really didn't want to hear that shit no more. When Ruto started beating her ass, I was dead ass cheering him on. Like, if I was in that world, I'd be in the back and I'd be like, hey man, do what you gotta do. That's all I'm saying. I'd be in the back. I wouldn't be like, hey, go beat that girl's ass, man. She's doing some fucked up shit. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be stopping him either. Okay? That's my perspective. And even then, listen, dog. Seeing her all fucked up after Ruto beat the shit out of her is so like, it's like, god damn, Ruto beat the shit out of her. But at the same time, I still feel like she got off light, man. She did some really fucked up shit. Like, she was playing with their memories and shit, man. That girl Rio, Delmon, Ruto got caught up in that shit too, if I remember right. She was playing with their memories and shit. That's fucked up. That's dirty as fuck. You can't be doing shit like that. You can't be doing shit like that. And then what's his name wants to pull the, oh, she's just a girl card. Like, man, the fuck out my face. Dog, you can't be serious. This girl just tried to kill a kid with no remorse, so let's not play the moral high horse game, dog. I get it. I think Amo's cute too, and she can be pretty funny. But nah, that boy Ruto is off the fucking streets. Like, the fuck, what did you expect from a kid like this? There's just no way to demonize Ruto here. If you want to simp for a character in this show, at least let it be Rio, Engine, Tamsi, or Aisha. Because, like, I know from what we've seen, Rio has some pretty fucked up past herself. Tamsi on that last episode, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Looking a little shady there. But from how we know them, and how the viewer knows them, if I'm choosing a character to simp for in this show, it's gonna be one of those four. Maybe even Zanka. That boy Zanka. Zanka's my favorite character. I'm gonna get into more on him a little later. But yeah, add Zanka to that fucking list. Anyone but fucking Amo. The villains in this show are just fucking like, I don't know. Amo is just, trust me, I'm gonna say it again. When she's being cute, she's cute as fuck. And when she's being funny, she's pretty funny. But the moment she clapped Engine, I was already waiting for it to get pummeled. The moment she made Rio look like this, I was finna drop the show if she didn't get at least a mean slap across her fucking face. And something I really like about Gachiakuta is the way they went through with that shit and showed all of it. And I'm talking about Amo's backstory. It was ugly and in your face, but the fact that they went through with a scene like that has my respect. And I think the art style in Gachiakuta is so perfect for this because it's stylized. Like, if you look at the eyes and like the faces and stuff and hands, it's so stylized, but the colors are so gritty and drab to the point where a very serious issue like that can still be taken seriously. So it just worked really well. While I'm on the topic of Amo, I hate how the writers seem to downplay the other cleaners just so certain events can happen. They're constantly getting caught lacking left and right, which is fine every now and then. But why would veteran cleaners be so careless in uncertain areas? It's like they're their own worst enemy, rather than the actual villains being the worst enemy. I still can't get over why Zanka was surprised that Delmon attacked during the Amo thing. You damn right he attacked you. Why are you surprised? He just clapped Engine. And it's not like Zanka is stupid either, so it really doesn't make sense to me. It really didn't make any sense to me when that happened. And now the villains overall just lack any sort of charm or charisma to them, unlike villains like Hisoka, Azula, or Regulus, who are in a similar vein. You know, I said Amo's cute and she can be pretty funny sometimes, and when I say sometimes, I mean it, because she's not always like that. It's just like, it's an every now and then thing. The girl with like the sewer hole cover power is, she's cute, but who the fuck is she? Like, I don't even know her fucking name. Other characters like Delmon, I love his design, I hate his character. He is fucking annoying. In a show where everyone is already pretty loud, I guess the author thought it would be a good idea to add another character that's just like, being loud is his specialty. So they just made him louder than the other loud people. And there's another character who's voiced by the guy that voices Okabe from Steins Gate. Oh my god, he is fucking Aisha's brother. He is fucking annoying. He's so fucking weird XD, loud, obnoxious, and never adds anything to any scene that he's in, because he's not even funny. Jabber, One of the villains. His design is amazing, but his dialogue is awful. He's venturing into cringe territory with his dialogue. And unrelated to him, that whole thing I said about, like, you know, how loud some of the characters can be, it's something that makes Engine, Ryo, and Zanka a lot more likable, because even though they can be loud, they aren't annoyingly loud. I guess shonen anime is still in the loud equals funny era of comedy relief. The villains also don't feel threatening, besides Zodiel. Because of the excessive dialoguing and lack of urgency found in, you know, the main characters, it's not nearly as tense as it could be. There's also the shonen staple of extremely poorly timed comedic relief, which makes me think the writers aren't confident in committing to a serious tone, but it comes off as tone deaf. Think of moments in other shonen where things felt scary, intimidating, bleak, or intense. The Chunin exams, Endeavor vs Nomu, Wrath soloing an entire army. The list goes on. You could think of so many more examples. Those moments were so good because those were scary ass villains without the excessive dialogue and shitty, absolute dog shit 0 out of 10. Minimal effort. How could anyone find this funny comedic relief? There's even literal toilet humor in episode 3. Or episode 2, episode 3, something like that. Come on, man. Toilet humor? I'll give them this. Sometimes the poorly timed jokes are funny, but you know what they say about throwing shit at a wall. I'll just keep it there. But I just don't understand why they can't commit to the mood when the art style uses so many drab and pale colors. Basically, the visuals are communicating something a lot more gritty than what we're getting. And before anyone misconstrues what I'm saying, my biggest issue is the type of jokes being made and the timing. Just have the team of XD comedians adapt to the art style that's being presented. Otherwise, I really enjoyed the show, and it's one of the very few shonen anime that even captured my interest in the first place. But with those complaints out of the way, again, Gachiakuta is a great shonen anime. I fucking love the 4 main characters. If I had to order them, I'd go Zanka, Rudo, Ryo, then Engine, but it's very close. Like, the distance between Zanka and Engine is like centimeters. Zanka is just such an interesting and well-designed character. I love him. In a show filled with quirky characters, his more grounded personality is ironically what makes him shine. And I'm just waiting for them to let him take a single fucking fight. It's been 24 episodes of this guy getting his ass fucking beat. And I know where the writers are going with that, especially with his complex and shit like that, but give him at least one fucking win, please. And on that same note, when the fuck is Engine gonna do something? He has my favorite design in the fucking show. He looks so fucking cool, especially with his mask on. He looks so clean, but never does anything in fights, and you just know he's gotta be nice with it. You know he's nice with it. The guy fights with a fucking umbrella. If an anime character fights with an umbrella, that's it right there. That's the guy right there. And Rudo is shaping up to be a really interesting main character. I think he has a ton of potential. He's not the typical goody two-shoes main character. He leans towards more the edgy side, but not in a bad way. It really makes sense for Rudo to be the way that he is. His character makes sense. He has a lot of potential. He's been doing some interesting things, like beating the shit out of Amo. But yeah, I love Rudo. Rudo's a great main character, and I love his design. Listen, 90% of the designs in this show I fucking love. Ryo, fucking Ryo, man. First of all, I love her fucking voice. She has such a pleasant voice. She sounds like Yanfei from Genshin, but like slightly higher pitched, like not as deep as Yanfei. Such a pleasant voice. And her design, again, clean, and also cute. I've always wondered why she's so like, the girl's not just skinny, she is anorexic, dog. That girl, there's no way that is a healthy level of like slim, right? She's so skinny. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because listen, I don't know. Like, are they trying to, like, is that part of her backstory? Who fucking knows? Because it doesn't seem like the other female characters have her, like, kind of body type. So I'm guessing it's a backstory thing. But, yeah, Ryo, I love her. She's fun, you know? And she can beat some ass when it really comes down to it, man. Oh my, her fight with that fucking lightning bitch. Oh man, yo, that shit was fucking crazy. That shit was crazy. And then at the end of, I'm just saying at the end of the fight, I don't want to spoil it, but listen, at the end of the fucking fight, dog, when she, Oh my god, man. The way she ended that fight is just so like, oh man, don't fuck with Rio. Don't fuck with her. Rudo, he's got a shooter on his team. That's all I'm gonna say. Rudo's off the streets. Rio's a shooter. What does Zanka and fucking Andrew have in store? You know, what's going on with that shit? But yeah, of course, shout out to that boy Tamzi and Asia as well. Those two are great for very different reasons. Tamzi is, as the kids would say, I'm not gonna say the fucking word. I'm not putting that on my fucking channel. I'm just gonna say Tamzi is holy shit. It took one scene for me to fucking just instantly fall in love with him as a character. He is fucking insane, and I wish they would show more of him because clearly this guy is a fucking problem. And Asia is just fucking adorable. I think she's the cutest character in the show by far. Like, Rio's cute. Yeah, I love Rio, but Asia is holy shit, man. This girl, with how cute she is, she just belongs in fucking Genshin or some shit, man. That's all I'm gonna say. That level of cuteness belongs in fucking Genshin. But yeah, I can't wait for season 2. Hopefully, Bones continues with the amazing work, and I want to see more of this incredibly stylish world and setting. Even though I bitched about it quite a bit, I did end up giving the show a 9 out of 10, like I said. And originally, I was thinking maybe an 8, but the last few episodes really did it for me. I can't ignore the flaws, but I double can't ignore what it's doing right. Yeah, when I said this was gonna take a long time, I meant that shit. It was gonna take a long time. There's no way I'm gonna dedicate a whole video to gachiakuta, so I'm just gonna let my thoughts out here. Now, in contrast to gachiakuta's drab world, I got Apocalypse Hotel up next. The post-apocalyptic setting is nothing new, but look at these fucking backgrounds. Extremely well done and captures the world so perfectly. Yachio is easily one of the best main characters of the year, and at least a top 40 main characters. She's fun, adorable, charming, and stupid in the best way possible. I fucking love her obsession with shower caps. Dog. That first, I think it was just in the first episode, maybe the first 2 episodes, the way she was just obsessed with the shower caps. Now that I think about it, I think it's throughout the entire show. The way she was obsessed with shower caps was just so fucking adorable and like endearing and shit. That being said, her more quiet scenes both surprised and hit me pretty hard. Writers need to watch this shit. This is how you tell a story without excessive dialogue. Watching Yachio walk around the city, just silently observing and absorbing the world around her was such a breath of fresh air when most other anime go all in on verbal storytelling. There's not much to say here because besides the flashes of dead people and drama here and there, it is a very slice of life show, and it's really good at that. Did I write slice of life? I'd say it leans more towards comedy, but regardless, it is a comedy slice of life show. There's not much to say in regards to shows like that, in my opinion. So I'll just leave it there. But I did enjoy it very much. I thought it was fucking great. Next up, a classic anime alert, Kino's Journey. I actually watched the remake first before I watched this one, back when it aired, and it took me this long to finally watch the original. And Kino's Journey also handles visual storytelling extremely well, along with having its own amazing main character. My favorite thing about Kino is her natural curiosity. She's out here visiting all kinds of different cities and nations, and whenever there's something weird or fucked up about a place, she's more likely to ask why before getting on her moral high horse. But sometimes things go too far even for her, and she'll either take action or be a bit more aggressive, like during the tournament, or when she visited the quote-unquote peaceful country that was killing innocent people as part of a game. So Kino might seem like a complete bystander, but the moments where she does insert herself into other people's problems are great for characterizing and humanizing her. And the ideas behind these civilizations are really cool ways to explore the human mentality. Like in one of the OVAs where everyone's lives revolve around building a tower until it collapses, only to repeat the process until it eventually does collapse. Now that I finally got around to completing the series, remake and everything, it's safe to say it has one of the most interesting worlds crafted in anime. I just want to see more of what that world has to offer, and I love that it felt like experiencing that world with Kino, while I got to hear her bouncing off of Hermes' dialogue so easily. I can't say it enough, I'm gonna miss Kino in her journeys, and I really should start reading the manga, because it's still fucking going. Next one's a heavy fucking story. It's a heavy fucking story. Takopi no Genzai is pretty fucked up. I did not know what I was getting into until I saw the disclaimer at the start of the first episode. And when I saw that, I was gonna be like, oh, it's one of these things. Well, I saw the promo art and I was like, oh, this looks so cute. Oh, she's gonna look so adorable. She looks so cute. I should have checked the genres, I should have checked the tags, because that probably would have told me everything I needed to know about this very cute looking show. So, despite the heavy nature of the themes of this story, it's one that needs to be told, and they handled it very well. The children in this show behave in certain ways that makes so much sense when their life at home and school is taken into consideration. And the way they develop throughout the show is especially a highlight. But I want to emphasize Shizuka as a character, because I wanted to hope that she would continue to be a sweet innocent angel, you know, the sweet innocent angel I saw in episode 1 that was unfortunately getting bullied. But this show had a message to send and they said fuck you. And I can't complain because it just makes so much sense. When a kid is being severely bullied at school and neglected by both of her parents, and her only form of support is a dog and an alien she just met, it makes sense that she would start showing concerning behavior as the show goes on. Shout out to dogs, man. The most obvious examples are her celebration of Marina's death, manipulating Azuma into covering for her, and her complete obliviousness to the situation she was in. I know she's a kid, but that level of indifference that she had there was, I don't know, even for a kid that seemed pretty fucking crazy. Being more focused on going to see her dad, meanwhile Azuma is panicking over the discovery of Marina's body. It's so fucked up, but for the message and character they were trying to push, it was necessary. I genuinely think that if Shizuka had at least one parental figure that gave a fuck about her, she'd be okay. Maybe not great or even good, but okay. And watching her break down episode 6 was actually so painful, and if I was actually watching that at home instead of work, I would have been crying my ass off into my fucking body pillow, man. Like seriously, I would just be fucking just crying into that show. Even when I was at work, I was just like, it was still just heart-wrenching. But yeah, credit to her voice actor though, she fucking nailed that shit. And it's my performance of the year. It's just the best performance of the fucking year. If there was ever a time where I felt compelled to help a kid in a fucking anime, that was it. I still think about it every now and then. And it's just like, can you fucking adults, quote unquote adults, get your shit together and show some love to your damn kids? You know, even though I am indifferent towards Marina, at the end of the day, she's a kid and she needs that guidance. Azuma, Shizuka. It's just like, take care of your fucking kids. Okay? Your kids are looking for you for guidance in the fucking world and shit. You need to take care of them. You need to love them. Take care of your fucking kids. But I want to talk about Marina's death a bit more. Honestly, I didn't care when she died. I can acknowledge that it's fucked up for her to die for what she did. But at the same time, I wasn't really wrecked over it. As someone with 2 dogs that are basically my kids, it's hard to sympathize with Marina, child or not. You don't fuck with animals, and you especially don't fuck with one just to get a reaction out of the owner being Shizuka. But that's just one thing on her laundry list of fucked up shit. And it's so weird to hear Konami Kihara voice a malicious character. She has such a sweet and adorable voice. I know her for voice acting characters that are sweet and slightly airheaded, if not fully airheaded. She even voices that bitch in fucking ReZero. It's like, what are y'all doing, man? Her voice is too perfect to be wasted on them bitch-ass characters. With that being said, this show also features amazing animation from start to finish, a notable soundtrack, and an extremely cute art style. I really especially love the line art. It almost makes me wish I got something more lighthearted. Now with all this praise, would I say it's a 10 out of 10 show? No. It's more so along the 8.5 score, because I felt lukewarm on the ending and was hoping for them to address each child's relationship with their parents after the time skip. I know that since they didn't address it, we can assume that maybe it stayed the same, but I think it would have been nice for them to show it, to literally just show it to the viewer as a confirmation. I've gotten the urge to rewatch it, but I really don't want to see those kids going through that bullshit again. Especially Shizuka, because it wasn't just that one scene in episode 6 that was heartbreaking to watch. It was a lot of the stuff that happened in that fucking show. A lot of different shit that happened in that show, man. It's tough, and I'm probably only gonna watch it one time. And my favorite anime of the year, by far actually, is Mono. I've talked about my love for slice of life anime on this channel before, and while I do enjoy this genre a lot more than others, it's not like I'll ignore the flaws of a slice of life just because I'm more biased towards that genre. What I will say though is, the minimum for a good slice of life is much easier to achieve than the minimum for a good action anime. Slice of life shows don't need good animation. But funny enough, this show is extremely well animated for the entire show, which I was very surprised about because I never heard about the studio before I watched Mono. But apparently, listen, this was some good ass shit. The way they animate certain things for the sake of a joke can't be understated. Like when Haruno steps out and gets hit by that hot ass, humid ass Japan weather. Or during the initial D scene. It's so dumb and I fucking love it. The visuals in general are a 10 out of 10. The art style is unique. I love the emphasis on big eyebrows. The character designs are great. And having the characters constantly changing fits is a really nice touch. It reminds me of Shirobako. My favorite character in Mono is Sakurako. What makes her so interesting is how quirky she is. Anytime she's on screen, it's like trying to guess what she's gonna do and why. It's so strange because it's not even like she's necessarily funny. She's just strange in the best way possible. You know, it's interesting to watch her. Besides her, it's like a gorilla. Hey, I love watching gorillas on YouTube, by the way. Gorillas are my favorite animal, along with orangutans. I love watching them and shit. And they just do shit. And when you see them do shit, it's like, why did it do that? Oh, it just felt like it. Because it's like gorilla and they're smart and they just do shit sometimes. And that's how I feel about Sakurako. And now I'm comparing Sakurako to a fucking gorilla. She's weird. She's a weird character. You know, it's just like, why did she do that? There's no explanation for it. She just felt like doing it. But that's the essence of Sakurako. And sometimes when you have a character like that, it can come off as, wow, you're so quirky XD, you know? But in the case of Sakurako, it comes off as so natural. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? But it's an endearing what the fuck is wrong with this girl. It's not like get away from me. She's great. Besides Sakurako, there are 4 other main characters. Haruno is great. She's probably the funniest character and I just love her in general. Which I can't say I was expecting when I was looking at the character designs for the show before I watched it. Kako, I love her. She doesn't get as much screen time as the others, but she's really good at playing off of Sakurako, Haruno, and Kiriyama. But speaking of Kiriyama, when I saw that Aoi Koga was gonna voice her, I was stomached for at least 5 seconds. I hate to say it, I don't really hate it. I'm just saying that so I don't sound nearly as offensive. But the voice that she is always told to do, I'm assuming by the director, is so fucking annoying. And it's even worse because she only does that voice for loud characters, like in this case Kiriyama. But this extends to other characters she's done. I can't wrap my head around the idea of giving a character an annoying ass voice in a show that's supposed to be chill to watch. And honestly, I can't wrap my head around that voice in general. People enjoy this shit. We're getting way too close to the nails on a chalkboard sound. Yes, it's that bad. And I know damn well she can do different voices. I've heard it for myself. There's a scene where Kiriyama just won't stop screaming. I really want to just skip it. I wanted to skip a couple minutes ahead. This shit gotta be some kind of social experiment or some next level trolling. But with her out of the way, all that's left is Satsuki. It might have seemed like I forgot about her, and that was intentional because she just doesn't have a strong presence in the first half of the show, besides being the lead character. But that's like giving credit to a YouTuber for uploading videos. It's like, yeah, uploading is part of the whole fucking thing. You don't get credit for that. As the show goes on though, she does start standing out a bit more, which is great because my initial score for the show was a 9. But both Kiriyama and Satsuki had some good moments in the last half that made me give it a 10. But yeah, that was it for me this year. There's some other animes I watched that aren't really worth talking about. Like I watched the Gorilla God anime. There are 2 things I love, cute anime girls and gorillas. So when I saw that there was an anime about a girl with gorilla powers, I was like, that sounds great, I'm gonna watch that. It was kind of bad though. And there's some other animes I watched this year that I didn't really care to talk about, so I left them out of the list. This list would have been a lot bigger otherwise. But yeah, again, this has been a great year for anime. Yoimiya would be way more useful here, but no, she wouldn't. I always overestimate how much damage she does. I think I'm better off taking Mona.